So I was sitting here earlier and shit, and something had caught my attention like the other day, and I was like, damn. So, matter of fact, somebody was telling me about the security company and shit. Like just a little gig, and the hours that they work. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it made a lot of sense to me. Like until I get where I'm trying to go with figuring out income and what I want to do and shit that I'm not gonna mind doing to make money, because I'm still like in a mindset of like, fuck a job. But I got kids, I got responsibilities, I'm partnered up with somebody, so I still gotta make certain sacrificial moves and shit like that, sacrificial decisions. So I'm like, you know what? I'll fuck with that joint just for now until I find, more of a make sensible type of situation. So I go, look on the website and shit like that to try to see if I wanted to apply. And I'm clicking on the gigs and shit. And like I said, just something for now. And I'm seeing $16 an hour, $15 an hour. And I'm seeing shit like must be vaccinated and just all of these different qualifications that you may need that I have. But when I seen the vaccination shit, it blew my mind, and it just took me down memory lane back to like all of the COVID shit and what was going on during that time from 2020 to like 2022. And I ain't get that shit. I ain't get the vaccination. When I was at my gig that I was at, it was union, so they wasn't really coming down the pipe with that shit, but it was possibilities, and they let us know, yo, it's a possibility that they might try to force our hand and make everybody here get vaccinated, and if you don't get the vaccination, then you probably more than likely be terminated and shit like that. And it just made me think about all of the people that was forced to get that shit, to put that shit in their body, not knowing what they was putting in their body because of a fucking job. Then it just made me think furthermore, like, damn, just about people in general. How much would you say you've given up for a fucking job, for a job? How much would you say you've given up? What have you given up for a job? How much have you given up for a job? What did you have to sacrifice? How much did you sacrifice for a job? A job that you just a number at, that don't give a fuck about you. And it's funny to me because it's like, I know it'll never happen, but it's strength in numbers. And if the people really just stood up to this shit and came together just for a little bit, put our differences to the side, all this shit will fold and crumble. But it's funny as shit how these companies and everything else in America, they throw their weight around, they use their leverage. Think about how rich, like, and I'm all about you can never have enough money, but how much money do you think you fucking need when there's people out here that can't buy a house, that can't afford a car payment, that can't afford an apartment, that can't afford to eat some days, some nights? How much money do you think you fucking possibly need to have? This shit just, it's beyond unfair. It's beyond unfair. Well, how this shit is, how this shit is ran. These people that got the power to do what they want, make the rules, break the rules. Like, you niggas is trillionaires, bro. It's how you a trillionaire? How is it multiple billionaires and whatever they are, whatever they grossed or whatever they worth, liquidated, whatever? How is that shit possible when there's people out here that can't even afford to live? Like, it's people out here that can't even afford the struggle of living check to check. Think about that. It's people that's living check to check, that's got a car note, that's got a home, that's paying for food, that's getting by every check, whatever, just barely getting by, barely scratching the surface. You got people that's below that can't even have that struggle, that can't even afford to have that struggle. And you got niggas out here with billions and trillions of dollars. And again, it take me back to that time with COVID, bro. Like, when niggas was forced. I know people personally that been at their jobs for years on and years on and years on. And it had to come down to a decision to where as though they had to get a fucking COVID shot or lose their job. Then y'all had the nerve to have a nigga plastered across the TV for weeks and months. That was a fraud. That it came out that this nigga was a fraud. He wasn't even a real fucking doctor. He wasn't qualified, basically, to, I don't know what he was, but he wasn't qualified to be telling people to go put this shit in their body. And it just make me think, like, this the times we in, bro. It's all about leverage. It's all about that. They could tell you what to do. They could tell you how to do it because they hold the power. They have the leverage over us regular people. Us regular everyday motherfuckers, they got the leverage, bro. Imagine you losing your gig because you don't want to get a fucking vaccination. I be laughing at these gigs, bro. Like I told my girl earlier, if it wasn't for y'all, I would never get another job a day in my life. As long as I live, I would never get another fucking gig. I'd be a hobo. I'd be a hippie, bro. I'd be on hippie time. Get shit when I need it. Minimal lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But I signed up. These are my responsibilities, so I'm gonna handle that and carry that out like a man. But, bro, if I ain't had no fucking kids, if I ain't have a partner, bro, I would never go back. I would never get another job, bro. Even when I be looking, like, I still can't, because I see it for what it is. So it's hard for me to comply. It's hard for me to stand down. It's hard for me to accept knowing that they treat us this way and they take up our times and our lives and all of the shit that we sacrifice. Time with our kids, freedom, time to just downtime, time to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Time to do things that you enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Life balance, as they call it. That's bullshit. Work-life, that's bullshit. But they take all of this shit from us, bro, because they know we need it. I know somebody that's going through a situation with welfare, public assistance. Bro, I remember I was on welfare for like a little bit, like when I was younger and shit, and I ain't had no gig. My mom was like, yo, go there and get some food stamps so you can at least feed yourself. Bro, I was in and out of that shit. Maybe like 4 or 5 months I was on that shit, getting a little $200 in food stamps to feed myself and shit, right? I ain't had no money, no job. Bro, they ask for your name, a little bit of information or whatever, and you good, you green. Bro, I'm talking to the person that's going through their situation with this welfare shit, a female with kids and everything. Bro, they want to know where your kids work. They want to know, is your kids fucking? Do your kids got kids? What's your kids' friends' social security? Like they want everything. And then it dawned on me, I said, damn, why they asking for all that information? It ain't never used to be like that. Wanna know why? Cause they can. Cause you need it. You need us more than we need you. That's the game that the people in power are playing with us every day. You need us more than we need you. And it shows. Ain't nobody got no balls to run out here and quit their job. Ain't a group of people making noise and raising hell, about leverage or equality. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody doing that. And they know that. Then you got motherfuckers like the people that's in the category of just fucking ultra consumerism. Like, you know what I mean? You got people like that don't even be caring about their bills and their well-being and how they gonna eat. They want to buy shit. They want to go places. They want to look like they got the money. They want to look like celebrities. They want to buy sneakers, clothes, materials, car note, house, trips, turn up on the weekend. Like, bro, we just consumers, bro. That's all we is, bro. And they know it. So they can do shit like that. They can make qualification, even down to what you need to work a job. Think about that, bro. Think about how they spend all of this shit. They make people go out here, go to college, to get degrees, to be qualified to do certain jobs, or to have the information or the knowledge on how to do certain jobs. Listen, it's a few gigs, it's a few things that's under like the professionalism category that you absolutely need to be shown and trained and schooled on how to do the job. And some I'm gonna speak on that's off the top of my head, bro. Flying a fucking plane or a helicopter, What else? I really feel like that's it. Everything else, bro, to avoid college and school, what's that shit? To avoid financial aid and all that debt and shit that people be in, bro. Motherfuckers can really, you can learn to do anything, bro, with enough repetition, bro. Think about how many people that they put in debt annually. How much money they make off people debt because they want to go to college and they want to get a better job or a better career. Shit that they probably don't even leave school and do for the rest of their life. But think about how they could create this the standard of you gotta go to school for that. Oh, you gotta go to school for that. And when you go to school, it costs a bunch of money just for you to get out here and do a job. You're like, damn, shit, for a nigga could have taught me that at the gig or whatever I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Professionally, like a lot of this shit, it just be money, bro. It be money driven, cash. It be cash grabs. Like I mean, like, so when I be looking at these jobs now, like, and just how the world is, I be like, yo, bro, I'm not doing anything for no gig, bro. I'm gonna do what I gotta do for my young boys, bro. But I'm not. I used to be fascinated. I used to be excited about trying to have a decent career and all of that kind of shit, be successful and all that kind of shit, bro. Like working a job and all that, having a job that pay a lot of money, bro. That shit don't mean nothing. It don't amount to shit. Like you just work somewhere, like, I mean, and you a number, and they treating you like shit. They don't value you. They don't care about you. You know what I mean? Like the shit that we go through, the shit that we sacrifice, the shit that we trade off. I'm telling you, bro, is like, it's not even close to like being worth it. But the fact that we gotta pay for shit, we gotta pay bills, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, like, it make you feel like, damn, I'm lucky to have this joint, bro, because I could be out on the street, or I could be homeless, or I could not eat, or I could not be able to do this, or I could not, like, that's the game. Had people out here begging to work a job and thanking God that they got a fucking job and all this whole other shit, bro. Like, but what is you giving up for this job, bro? On some real shit. And when will it end? We got generations of people that's just programmed to go work for their whole life, miss out on shit, normalize missing out on college graduations and basketball games and all types of shit, musicals and spelling bees. Like, you, bro, you miss out on so much, bro, just to obtain a certain lifestyle out here, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like I said, I'm looking at that shit. I'm like, bro, I would have lost my gig. I told my girl, we gonna figure it out. When they was talking that COVID shit, bro, and everybody was having to get vaccinated, it was mandated. And I told her, my kids ain't getting that shit. You go ahead and do what you want to do. I told her, bro, we gonna bump heads every time. My kids ain't getting that shit. For them niggas, the 10 years down the line be talking about, oh yeah, you know, complications with your health, or it's cancerous, or all types of shit that is probably fucking, you know, manipulating in your body and your DNA and all that shit, bro. Just for them niggas later on down the line to come out with that shit and be telling you to call a number if you got vaccinated in 2000 such and such, because you may be able to get compensated or you may be able to get a check. You know what I'm saying? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I wish I would, man. And it's sad because, again, a lot of people was forced to get that shit. And then the same motherfucking job that you was forced to get a vaccination or bend over backwards for, you don't even work there no more. You done been fired 10 times over. They done replaced you 20 times over. But you done went out your way. Like, that's what I'm saying. That the system, bro, the games that they play, is nasty, man. It's nasty, man. Like, I don't look at this shit like I used to no more, bro. And I'm glad. Like, I'm glad I went through my phase of leaving my job and leaving money. People probably thought I was crazy to walk away from that kind of money and shit like that without having a college degree and without having a high school diploma and, you know, being qualified in America to make that kind of money. But I did, though. I made that money because it just was for me. I was where I was supposed to be at. Nobody could take that from you. Nobody could change your story. Like, if you gonna make it, if you gonna be fortunate enough to be in a situation like that, you would. It's gonna happen for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do nothing special. I ain't go to no fucking college or no high school and graduate and walk down the aisle and all that shit. They kill me with that. Oh, you need a high school diploma, you need a GED. For what, nigga? To sweep the floor? For what? So y'all can feel okay about paying me above the minimum wage line? I mean, the minimum wage, yeah, the minimum wage standard, or the baseline of like what minimum wage is, bro. Like they fucks me up. I laugh at these gigs, bro. And the only reason I said I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a little whatever I gotta do to get back out here for my youngins and for my situation. That's it. That's the only reason. I promise niggas I would not be, bro. I would be on some hippie shit, bro. And I'm fine with that. That's my whole thing. Like y'all not going to have me under your thumb with the consumerism shit and I need to have a new iPhone. I need the PlayStation 6. I like all that shit, but I'm not willing to do certain shit for it. It come when it come. It come how it come. I be feeling better when I feel like I ain't sell my soul or I ain't compromise my morals and principles to get this shit. You know what I'm saying? I did that. I went through that. Everything I bought a lot of shit when I was working and making good money. I bought a lot of material shit because I was a material nigga. Was I happy? Not one of them times. I get that shit, had that shit for a couple days, maybe at tops a couple weeks, bro. And it's like, it is what it is. But it never get old to how you feel on like what you gotta go through to obtain the money and what you gotta trade off to get paid every 2 weeks or every week. I don't give a fuck how much money you make, bro. If you're not happy, if you really normalizing missing out on moments and times in your life, bro, I don't know. That's some robot that you program. If you not feeling no type of way, being as though you gotta compromise a certain kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like to get that money and make that money, bro. And listen, we can front like we all like what we doing shit, bro. I'm sure it's a large ass percentage of people that hate their jobs and hate their lives because they hate their jobs. I'm sure it's a large ass amount of people out here on this 8 billion, 9 billion amount of, number of people that's in the world and shit. I'm sure it's a large ass night and day, bro. It's a landslide on how many people probably hate their fucking lives because they hate their jobs. They feel trapped. You know what I mean? Or they just hate their life for whatever other reason. But, bro, don't nobody like knowing what they got to do to make money, bro. Like, I mean, and like I said, when I was where I was at working and shit like that, it was a joke. I was miserable. And ain't too many jobs out here you gonna find like on that unicorn shit that's gonna be like, yo, I really love being here. I don't mind being here. Hell yeah, I can't wait to come back to work tomorrow. Fuck yeah. Come on, bro. How many of them out here? And like I said, the shit that they be asking for and be making you feel like you're not qualified, bro. You qualify for any fucking thing out here. Aside from probably flying a fucking airplane or flying a helicopter or a UFO or some shit. That's the only thing a motherfucker can look me in my face and be like, bro, you probably can't just get right in there and go. I'm respecting that. Fuck around, die trying to fucking fly a plane. Hit the wrong button or some shit. I mean, we going down. But all this shit on the ground, if enough repetition, if they took the time, no, they want you to go into debt, go to college, go into debt, get into debt, sit through that shit for years and years and years so they can run that bag up on you. Then you get out here in the real world. Yeah, you're full of information. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, imagine if a lot of these jobs and shit like that, bro, we could just be considered for them. We could already be considered for them and we could just learn on the go. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you could just probably learn how to take a bullet out of a nigga or something, but shit, enough repetition. What was they doing before all of this shit? What was our ancestors doing? What was they doing back in them times when motherfuckers was getting hurt and getting wounds and shit? And you know what I'm saying? And fingers getting cut off. Like, bro, this shit, like, they kill me, bro. Oh, you need to be vaccinated and you need to have a 3 years experience in this, and you need a high school diploma or a GED or da-da-da-da. Bro, come on, man. Most of the niggas that got high school diploma, like, you can't gauge it off that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how you gauging who's qualified based off of that? You get them niggas in there with degrees and shit, they be shitty workers. You get them niggas in there with high school diplomas, it don't matter about that. You are who you are without all of the fucking accolades and you know what I'm saying, and the accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? You still who you is. I know niggas that went to the top and they pieces of shit. But you overlook that because they got a degree? Come on, man. Like, bro, I know some niggas that ain't got none of that shit and they outwork everybody in there and they willing to learn. That's just like, I feel like that shit just like another way to separate us, bro. Another way to confuse it. That's the thing with this shit, bro. All of this shit is complicated and chaotic, but it don't have to be, bro. Like, man fucked it. Man dropped the bag. They dropped the ball on all this shit. You know what I'm saying? The creator created and put these motherfuckers out here on the planet, and they let this shit go to shit. Look how this shit being ran now. Look what they asking people for. Then you get into these places and shit, you might be qualified or whatever the case may be, they gonna dog you. They don't respect you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your kids, your family. Like, it's a rarity that you gonna find a gig that's considering you. They still gonna treat you like shit. You still a number. You still unhappy, but you telling yourself every day, man, I gotta pay these bills. I gotta da-da-da. It's like, you really like low key. That's why I say, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't understand how this shit ain't happened sooner, to where people coming together and they standing up to these corporations and these companies and shit, and they demanding respect. They demanding whatever the demands is. Like, I'm surprised this shit. I mean, I could be wrong. I ain't Google it, nothing, but I'm surprised this shit never happened. It never been a time where people like laid down the law and was like, fuck that. We ain't coming to work. We ain't doing nothing. We ain't complying. That shit like blows my mind. Like, how the fuck is we still in a place where we not using our leverage of strength and strength being in numbers? Niggas is just miserable as shit. You can't tell me that 90-something% of people not miserable every fucking day, but you telling yourself whatever you telling yourself to keep going. You telling yourself this shit. Trust me, and I'm qualified to speak on it because I know. I told myself for 8 years, whatever I told myself in those moments to keep going. And it worked because I kept fucking going. But I was miserable every fucking day, nigga. Every weekend I'm drinking, nigga. I'm them bottles upside down, nigga. I'm getting wasted. I'm getting on. Trying to suppress this shit. I can't process this shit. This can't be life. You know what I mean? And like I said, they be having the nerve to like, oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have, for what? To come work in this shithole? Come on, man. Like, it's just money at the end of the day. And it's like, bro, that's why I say, how rich can a nigga be? Y'all breaking the scale. Like, y'all niggas is super rich, and it's super poor people. It's people that wish that they could have the stress of being from check to check, bro, but at least having a crib and an APT, a car, a working car, a reliable car, clothes on their kids' back, food in the refrigerator, but just being like, all right, at least I'm check to check with this. People, it's a large amount of alarming amount of people out here that ain't even at that point. You see what I'm saying? Like, the way they got this shit going, bro, it's like niggas is drowning. How the fuck is this people that's so rich, but it's people that's so poor? How? This shit is a joke. And the shit, the demands and the requirements for these, y'all cut it out. I laugh at this shit, bro. I laugh at this shit. I laugh at this shit, dog. I don't take this shit serious. I will never. And to think I used to be fearful because I got a family, and I ain't want to have to come home one day and express that to my lady like, yo, they fired me or I lost my gig. I used to be bitching. They had me where they wanted me. I'm like, damn, I'm making good money. I hope they don't fire me. Like, that shit started controlling me, bro. I start like praising that gig for real. You know what I'm saying? To myself, of course, but like, damn, I can't lose this joint. I gotta keep this joint. Shit had me like paranoid, bro. I was like scared for real. Like, I ain't like that feeling. Man, when I quit that shit eventually, bro, I mustered up the strength and I just was over that shit. That shit probably was the best thing that could have happened to me. I don't even look at gigs the same no more. They here for what they here for. Get in there, get your shit and roll. And and I had got to a breaking point to where as though I couldn't take no more. But that's the only thing I would have did different, bro. I would have started funding whatever it is I wanted to do, and whatever it was in my heart at the time, I would have been funding it from the gig to develop that, to help develop that. You see what I'm saying? And I would have transitioned smoothly. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, I don't regret shit, bro. I don't regret shit. These jobs, they jokes, bro. These companies, they jokes. They gonna run you in the fucking ground. They gonna work you 50, 60, 70, 80, like 90, 100. Nigga, I know niggas that's working fucking 120 hours, 40 hours overtime. Like, what the fuck? Who are you, my nigga? What are you? Like, man, fuck that. Them niggas, they bank on the weakness of the people. People ain't got no strength, bro. They ain't got no balls. They know niggas, we such consumer, we so consumer sick. We so addicted to like this consumerism shit, this consumer shit. Bro, they know we would never. That's some gangster shit when you know I ain't even tripping. I know, like, that's some shit like you tell a pimp nigga, bitch, go sit at. I ain't even got nigga snap his fingers. He know she ain't gonna move. She ain't gonna bat her eye. She gonna stand in that motherfucking spot for 5 hours if he tell her to. That's what America doing to the people. That's what this world doing. They on some pimp shit. They know, nigga, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. Cause y'all consumers. Y'all love this shit too much. We study y'all. We know. Y'all niggas love this shit too much. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all ain't gonna quit your job. You ain't gonna be able to pay for that Hellcat. You ain't gonna pay for that Durango SRT. You ain't gonna be able to pay for that. You ain't gonna be able to go to the club and pop bottles. You ain't gonna be able to buy your weed. You ain't gonna be able to buy your sneakers and your clothes and shit like that. You ain't gonna be able to get your bitch hair done. You ain't gonna be women. You ain't gonna be able to get your nails done and buy your makeup and all that kind of shit and go to your brunches and all of the kind of cool shit you like to do. They know that we into that too much. They know that. Niggas, fuck that, nigga. I can't allow that shit, bro. Like, I did that shit for too long. I'm so turned off by that shit. That's why when I see these jobs, it's gonna be hard for me to find a gig because I'm so like, I just see through this shit. And I just can't accept certain things, bro. I'm not willing to do certain things for no company. No company. I wouldn't have been able to forgive myself if I would have got that motherfucking vaccination, nigga. What? Prime example, I don't even work at that gig no more, but I still put that shit up in my body. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Nigga, 5 years from now, my motherfucking arm fall off. The fuck? 10 years from now, nigga, my nigga toes start fucking turning into ash. You know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck going on. You blaming it on some shit you done ate or some shit. Nigga, no, nigga, it's that shit from 2020 that you put in your body. That they forced you to put in your body. That they paid you to put in your body for a fucking job. And again, I can't knock the people that did it because that's how they tie our hands. They put us against the wall where we don't have no choice. They back us in. Think about that. You know how fucked up that is, bro? That people out here had to put that shit in their body because they ain't had no choice. They ain't had no choice. Yeah, like, so, yeah, like that job shit, bro, it's a motherfucker. They a motherfucker, boy. And like I said, they just know they got the leverage over the people. It could be government assistance. It could be jobs. It could be whatever. School. They know people need it, and they abuse that. They use that against motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They use that leverage. They play that game. They like car salesmen, bro. You know what I mean? They could tell the motherfuckers that's gonna come in there and buy some shit. Oh yeah, this nigga weak. Yeah, he can't. I tell him 700, he gonna spend 700. You know what I mean? That's how they play the games. They know niggas need it and want it and crave it. Whatever it is, jobs, like I said, consumerism, like all that shit, bro. They know, and that shit fucked up. I'm not doing anything for no gig, bro. That's how I said. What's for me is for me. I ain't even rushing the process. I ain't trying to speed nothing up. I'm just gonna allow this shit to flow. But I'd be damned if I go get a vaccination or some shit like that to work at a fucking job. What? I'd be fucking kidding me, nigga. I wish I would. That's crazy, bro. That shit crazy.